love Married to Medicine. And today we are talking Season 7, Episode 4, Ballin on a Budget. We're going to talk all about Jackie's new home. We've got a fab and frugal party, Toya sippin paint, lots of mess with Contessa, and I think we may be getting a new cast member. Plus, we're going to read some news and gossip and some tweets that you all have been tweeting about the show. Yeah, we got a lot going on. But before we get into it, we have a guest host on today. She is one of my favorite people. Aww. She hosts with me on Love After Lockup. She is Miss Kittie Kaboom.
Boom! What up, homies?
Hello. Welcome to Married to Medicine. She is filling in for our girl Pietra, and she loves Married to Medicine just as much as I do. So we just gonna have a lot of fun today, y'all.
For sure.
So let's get right on into it. So what did you think of today's show?
I thought it was very interesting. I have to say that obviously I've never been here before, but let me just, having been a huge fan of reality TV, it's nice to see, especially people, ladies of color, be mature, get along, have differences and disagreements, and still be able to come to each other's events, support each other. I really thought that was so dope that she, of course, I've forgotten her name, but she says, like, we're going to get it together. Don't even worry about it. This is probably
Simone,
not the time. Dr. Simone. We're not going to talk about it right now. This is not the place, but we're going to be fine. Yeah. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And then Joseline showed up.
Yeah, I got to say, like, this is your first time here in the Married to Medicine area.
Yeah.
They're mature compared to other shows, but they be in some mess, child, and they for sure got into some mess tonight.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Let's just get right on into it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna start off with the mess though. Let's start off with something a little different. We're gonna start off with Jackie because she just bought a new house. But it seems like from what we saw, she wants to take everything out of the house. Yeah. Everything wants to be changed. She doesn't want this, she doesn't want that. Things are too small. And it's like, well, why did you buy the house?
Yeah, I was a little bit confused about that myself. Like, you spent all this money on a house only to go in after it's furnished and say, I want to knock down this, I want to put up that.
Yeah.
I mean, your bedroom was tiny when you moved in and you knew that, so I'm a little confused.
Exactly. Like, they have like this thing on Bravo's YouTube channel where they have some of the Bravo stars, like the Housewives and the Married to Medicine cast, where they give tours of their house. So I actually watched a tour of Jackie's house before this episode. And I remember when I was watching it thinking, she don't even like this house. Like, she wants to get rid of everything. She doesn't like anything. And that's what they started off with today. It's so weird.
Maybe, when you have coin of that caliber, maybe you say yes to something just to appease the other party or just to get through it, knowing that you got, a little budget on you. So I'll get in here and I kind of like this and I kind of like that, but I'm just going to make it my own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they were looking at things like, it is really nice on the outside. Yeah. It's a very cute house on the outside. Right. It is cute on the inside, I think, but Jackie doesn't like it. And maybe it's in a really good area close to work in a good part of Atlanta. But, can she afford to do all this renovation that she's talking about? She should have probably thought about that before, getting the house.
According to her, she told her husband, I got this. Like,
I mean, I would think that she does. She's a very successful doctor in Atlanta, and she's been on this show for 7 seasons. So I would think she has more than enough money to do this house. But how Curtis was acting was making it seem like we can't afford to do this.
Right.
So it's like, what's tea, sis? What's real?
I don't even think, well, for him, it was, I definitely heard dollar signs in his complaints, but to me, it seemed more like, why are you doing all this? Like, why are you inconveniencing up and creating an upheaval if, in fact, this isn't even where you wanted to be?
Yeah.
It just seems kind of ass backwards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I thought her house was pretty nice, as I mentioned before, so I guess I'm excited to see what she's going to do with all the new stuff, how she's going to make it even better, because it sounds like she's about to have a whole new house. So we'll see.
We shall see.
Before we move on, Kittie, do you have a message for our viewers?
I do, and thank you for reminding me. I just want to say thank you. We sincerely appreciate you here at AfterBuzz TV. We could not possibly do this without you. Thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. No matter how you're viewing us or listening to us, please give us a thumbs up, 5 stars, 5 fingers, whatever works. Just give us some love, because we love you, quite honestly. This is the highlight of my week, to be able to come in here and talk to you guys, and then you give it right back. We're in the chat. Come on, y'all, it's a family. So thanks again for giving us all the love, and all we can do is give that love and light right back.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being in the live chat if you are in there. And thank you, Kittie, for that beautiful message. I love it.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
All right, let's keep this thing going. Let's talk about Contessa in my heavenly voice, and Scott. It seems like her storyline for this season is just that she's not there, which is totally, I hate to say it like that, which is totally just a complete 180 from last season where she stepped down from being a doctor to be more for her kids, and now she's just completely in a new city. But Nashville, yes, which isn't far from Atlanta, but when you have kids, that could seem like, millions of miles away, and it seems like the kids are really struggling with her being gone. What do you think?
How about the little baby girl, though? She was too cute. Like, sometimes I forget about you. I'm just being honest, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta love that, right? I mean, maybe she does. I doubt that she forgets about her mommy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's really difficult. And whenever your kids voice that they're having an unhappy or a rocky time based on your not being able to be there, I mean, as a mom, it goes straight to your heart. Like, nothing hurts more. You've heard mothers say it for years and years and years. It's like, when I have to leave my child to go to work, I know that if I don't work, obviously I can't feed them, so it has to be done. Well, it's not something you look forward to.
Yeah, especially now, seeing that her daughter is having sort of like some anger issues with her being gone, throwing a ball at somebody's face, even though the boy sounded like he deserved it, because he was going to throw the ball first. But that's
that part, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole different discussion. But the part after that where she was like, yeah, because sometimes I just go in my room and punch walls. I was like, ooh. Now, that's something we might want to talk about. Yeah,
something you really want to sit down and try to unpack. But what kind of, not irritated me, but kind of made me feel like, why is she making this about herself? It's like, the daughter was basically saying that she's been having this anger. And Contessa was like, well, what is it, mommy being gone? Like, I feel like every time we see Contessa with her kids this season, I guess because it is her storyline, it's, are you sad about me being gone? Are you sad about me being gone? How do you feel about me being gone? And it's like, why do you keep not throwing it in their face, but like
bringing it up.
Finding every single reason to bring it up.
Not only that, if you ask her a question, how about don't give her the answer before you allow her to, what's going on with you? Do you want to talk about it? That should be it. Like, if you're feeding her the answers, what do you expect her to say? She's a kid. She's going to go with that narrative. Yeah. And I think that just puts too much pressure on her as a child to, like, be concerned with that. Mommy is not gone forever. I definitely come back and forth. You see me on a regular basis. I totally understand that you're upset right now, but this too shall pass. Daddy got you. We're together. We're united in this front. And I love you to pieces. I'll be right back. Yeah. You know, all that, like, is it me? Did I do it? You do that in your head, Mommy. You don't do that to the babies. Yeah,
it's just been a little too much. And I also don't really care for how she treats Scott, where everything that Scott does is wrong to her. And it's like, well, I'm not supposed to be doing this by myself, ma'am. Like, I'm also a doctor, which she was a doctor, so she knows how time-consuming and demanding that is. Right. And now you're leaving me alone with 3 kids that I've never been alone without them before. Right. And it seems like every time she's talking about Scott being alone with the kids, she's complaining about something he did.
I was just about to say, and you need to give him some room. Like, you're talking about they're not homeless, they're not malnutrition, not yet. Come on, Mommy, don't do that. They're fed, they're taken care. Just because his approach to parenting does not mirror yours does not mean it's a bad approach. Right. I don't know too many husbands, males in general, that are lovey-dovey. You know what I'm saying? It's just not always their nature. There's lots of fathers that feel the need to be affectionate, that come in and, give physical attention. But if that's not his steez, you knew that when you married him, and you definitely knew it once you have kids. These not brand new babies. So give him a break. He's doing fine.
And I also don't think she's taking into account how hard this probably is for him. Exactly. Because not only is he having all this extra responsibility and pressure put on him, but he also doesn't have his wife around. Like, your husband misses you just like your kids miss you. So it's
how about that?
To me, with Contessa, is there any type of concern about, being away? And I just don't feel right now that it is.
Yeah. Jay says, before it goes up, Contessa's another one that needs to get checked out. Who leaves her family like that in the middle of her children's formative years? That woman's crazy. That's an interesting take. Yeah. I don't think she left them. I think she's trying to better herself. She's gone for a minute. She comes back and forth. We have to do what we have to do to make our lives full, people.
And you know what? And I'm definitely not against, women going back to school or women doing something to better their careers. It's just, like he said, they're young children. They don't understand
this is the formative
why
years.
You're gone.
And then he made a very good point, but she was she was something, I'm sorry, I can't read this word, about missing them working last season.
Yeah,
so,
last
yeah, that's a
season
very
it was,
good point.
I'm going to step down from being a doctor because I want to be around my kids and I feel like a bad mom for not being there. But then she completely goes away. And I'm sorry, I feel like you can get a degree in mental health in Georgia.
My
mom just did it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why she has to go to Nashville in order to
Nashville.
pursue that.
Yeah.
That was quite interesting. Lastly, Simone TV says, for career purposes, yeah, it ain't something I do, but I'm a veteran with a spouse who is currently on a month of deployment. Yeah, I mean, everybody's circumstances are different, right? So you have to do what's best for you in your circumstances. But you're right, on the outside looking in, why don't they have these classes in your state? Like, I'm not sure, does Nashville have a better program or something?
Probably so, but I mean, you're already a doctor. And
Right.
you're going to school for mental health. Like, there's got to be something in Georgia that you can do.
Exactly.
You know?
It's a major metropolitan city. I don't think they're lacking in the
Yeah.
ability to give what you need.
Yeah.
But what do we know?
Well, I hope they get it together and, you know, if I was Contessa and my kids are telling me that one, they're going to forget about me, and one child is saying that she's having anger issues,
You'd be like,
I
I'm
would
coming
feel,
home.
yeah, like I need to be at home more. So I'm interested to see if that's going to change her mind about being away, or if she's just going to be like, deal with it. Oh well.
Right. I'll be home in a minute.
Yep.
Be interesting.
We'll see. Speaking of interesting, we had a pretty interesting party on this episode.
We had 2 parties.
We have a lot of different parties on all of these Bravo shows, but this party was called Fab and Frugal. And the rule of the party was that your outfit can't be more than $500. Now, maybe I'm just broke, but I feel like no outfit I go anywhere with is $500 or more.
You know what? I'm not even mad that they're in the tax bracket where that's hard for them, difficult for them. But I will say, homegirl I don't remember who kept saying, I'm a bust out this cheap dress. You said in the car your dress was $200.
That's not cheap
That's
to me.
not cheap, mama. Like, I get it.
It's not cheap to us.
To us, okay? I ain't mad at a $200 dress. I could probably pull off a $200, but I'm definitely not going to call it cheap.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so interesting that now they're in this tax bracket that they just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And you know how I felt about
And we talked about this when we were watching the show, how just because it's under $500, what they consider cheap,
Right.
doesn't mean it can't be cute. I felt like nobody's outfit was nice, and they're trying to make it seem like
the white dress was cute because them girls was sitting.
Quad looked cute.
Quad looked adorbs. And I was like, God, how do you quad? Because them boobies is giving it, girl.
Not to go ahead because we are going to talk about Miss Hernandez, but Joseline called, Toya
Joseline looked
thrifty.
cute.
Yeah, she looked cute. Joseline called Toya thrifty, and Thrifty was like, "That's what you were supposed to look like." And I'm
You
thinking,
look a
under
mess.
$500 doesn't mean thrifty.
Right.
Like I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm just cheap, or I ain't at that point in my life yet. I'm gonna be there. Praise God, manifest
Amen.
it. But $500.
Right, that's not cheap.
$500
Or
is a
thrifty.
week for me.
I was really mad though at Toya and her husband. I can't front. I did not understand why she came clomping in there with some cut off
Some
jean
Bermuda shorts.
Girl, bye. Don't nobody even wear jean shorts like that no more. Rolling up the top. What was that?
Yeah.
And your husband in some Jordans and a cheap t-shirt. I was I didn't even bring my phone.
But then she said her outfit was still $495, and I'm like, where?
Where?
On what?
Because that shirt, I just didn't understand it. She looked cheap.
I mean, I think also it wasn't the right outfit for the event. Because people had on like dresses and sparkly blouses, and she, like you said, had on Bermuda shorts. They looked
She
like they
looked
were
like
going
she
to the
was
mall.
going to a cookout.
Yeah, if she just took off her heels, she would look like she was going to the mall.
Exactly. I didn't get it.
Yeah. But anywho,
Anyhow.
I had to talk about that because like I said,
we were like,
$500?
I'm sorry.
Like, I would have slayed that party, okay? I would have came in there looking real good for under $500. Well, shoot,
I would have worked that all the way out.
Under $200
Right.
if we being for real.
Exactly.
But anywho, so the party was thrown by someone named Buffy, who I'm thinking may be one of the new cast members because we got a little bit more of a backstory from her. She was in an interview. She had her own interview, and she's inviting friends out, and they made it seem like, oh, Buffy's gonna be around a lot. Buffy's gonna be around a lot, and it's like if she's not on the show, she doesn't have to be around y'all. So it really made me feel like she's gonna be a new cast member.
And what did I say, right? The fact that she brought Joseline in, that's not usually the way that things go in terms of casting. You're a friend of a friend, and you're brought in. So clearly she has some kind of pull
Yeah.
to be able to even have Jocelyn. I mean, granted, Jocelyn is quite the. There's a reason they brought. I get that.
The producers are probably like, Jocelyn, bring her in.
Right.
Bring her
Let's
in.
see what we can get done for this one. And she did not disappoint, of course.
She did not disappoint. Let's talk about Miss Hernandez.
Yes, let's.
Because she was ready to play.
But
okay?
she always is. Why y'all keep trying this lady like you know what it is?
Uh-huh.
And I'm sorry, but Toya, you kind of started that. Like that whole victim thing. First, she said she just kept arguing with her. She's like, it's a full-time job being a mom. She's like, no, I don't feel like that. I mean, I do this for my daughter, I do that, but it's not full-time. Why are you going back and forth? Who cares? You're both parents, and you both feel the way that you feel about it being a job or not.
It was a really stupid argument.
Right.
But I don't necessarily put all the blame on Toya.
Not all of it,
I
but I just didn't like that she
understand
went back
why
and
it
forth.
needed to be a back and forth period.
Exactly.
We all know being a mother is time consuming and it feels like a job. So there was no reason to go back and forth. But the shade that was thrown, I loved it. It was so much
loved it.
fun.
So timely. You just keep living it up.
Yeah.
And not paying your taxes.
And that's what I want to know. I want to know, how does Joseline know that Toya didn't pay her taxes? Unless she's just a fan of the show. Because if you watch the show, then you know she didn't pay her taxes. So
No, but
maybe
that
it was
news.
just that.
That's pop culture news, babe. That was definitely in the headlines.
Yeah, true,
You know
true.
what I mean? And what did, dang it, I don't remember whose confessional was right after. And it was like, how did she know she ain't paid her taxes? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Everybody know.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, like I said, if you watch the show, then there's no way you wouldn't know. So
Right.
I guess that doesn't necessarily mean it's shady, but the fact that she brought it
Oh, it
up
was shady.
and shade, yeah.
Loved
Joseline is,
it.
no matter where she goes or what show she's on, she's gonna forever be shady.
There's
and that's why
always
she's
a
Joseline
1-2
Hernandez.
punch with
Yes.
her. You gotta expect that coming in. And why were they talking about her like she wasn't? That was so goofy.
It was just
That
a
third
weird
person.
interaction.
Yeah, she's pretty. Oh, she's gorgeous. I'm right here.
Yeah.
You could maybe say that to me.
It was just a weird interaction. I didn't even understand why she was around this group of people at all. But I guess that's just because of this new cast member. What I really didn't understand is why everybody made it seem like it was Buffy's issue that they got into it. Like Toya was acting like she was mad at Buffy, and Simone was like, "You're gonna have to make this up to her." And
It was
she
a
was like,
big
I'm gonna take you on a spa day," and making it seem like it was Buffy's fault. Like, Joseline is a grown woman.
Exactly.
Like, how is she supposed to know that Joseline was going to say that? And what is she supposed to do when she does say that? Tap her on the hand and be like, don't say that? I mean, she could have, but for what?
I really liked that Buffy was so gracious and so apologetic and felt like she needed to take responsibility for that. That was gracious. But at the end of the day, you're right. She's not responsible for another grown woman, what she says or doesn't say. And at the end of the day, if you got into it with my friends would never.
Which is a lie.
First of all, you're grandstanding. You don't know what your friends are going to do. That's ridiculous. And you just don't have a right to sit there and have all this heavy judgment. And then for you to say she can't come to your party, that's so petty. I'm glad she showed up anyway.
I'm not, but we'll talk about that. Well, another thing that kind of stood out to me about Buffy and her party and just her in general is she said she has a house manager, which I guess is another term for a nanny. Have you ever heard of the term house manager?
I think I have, but I was always under the impression it was almost like a butler type situation.
Okay.
So if I guess it's a woman, it's still the same. You know what it reminds me of? I only heard about it on TV. Don't get into it today. Happening in my house. Buyer's remorse. No, player's remorse. Whatever that show is. That's
Survivor's remorse.
Survivor. Thank you, goodness.
I love that show.
Right? So good. But remember when he first moved into that huge house and he hired the white guy to be, I guess, his house manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get the term, but it was quite interesting to see
What
that she
did
had
you
one.
think about Heavenly kind of insinuating, like, oh, you keep that woman around your husband? Like,
Why do they start stuff like that?
but I get it, though.
Do
like,
you? To say that out loud?
But no, well, one, Heavenly just says whatever comes to her mind. She doesn't
In
really
a
think
party
about
setting?
it.
Come on,
but,
Heavenly.
I mean, well, how many times have we thought, oh, if you hire a nanny to be around your husband, she should be an old lady or really ugly or maybe
or
that's
a man.
just me or a man.
No, I agree. No, I'm with you. I'm shaking my head like, dad, going right. But if this woman decided to hire her, how is it your place in front of everybody to be like, girl, you sure your husband ain't getting... Like, that's too much. Calm down. And I love that thing came right back and was like, honey, all the tricks I'm doing, he ain't got time. You understand me? I thought that was too cute.
Yeah.
Like, don't come for me at my part. Relax. It's fine.
I was a little shocked. I've been really shocked by Toya because Toya, she didn't say anything to Contessa when Contessa called her husband a bitch. But she also didn't say anything either today when Joseline cussed out Eugene.
Right.
So I'm wondering, is Toya just... Is it because it's Contessa and Joseline, two people who are really about that life, who will roll with her, that she feels like she can't say something to them? Or is she really just growing up and she's like, I'm above this, I'm just going to leave?
I think she's intimidated.
Okay.
To some degree.
I think so, too.
You know what I mean? Maybe there's a hint of the I'm mature, I don't even want to put my 2 cents in, but she know her place.
Because Toya's not like that usually. Toya will roll with you if she needs to.
Right.
Especially when it comes to her husband.
Right.
So... And Joseline called her a hoe. So it's like there's so many reasons she could have gone off, but she just didn't. And I was like, that's not the Toya that I know.
Right. Toya was knowing where to, she already saw the interaction. She's like, I'm not about to add to this nonsense because I already know it's not going to end up well for me.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was a smart move.
Yes.
I wonder now, though, are we going to see more of Joseline? Like, if Buffy is the true new cast member, which I'm really thinking that it is.
Yeah, that's about to come to fruition.
Are we going to see Joseline a lot more? And how is that going to affect the group and Toya and all of that good stuff?
Well, from what I've read, because I'm nosy like that, and I stay with the pop culture headlines, it looks like they're going to bring her on because she brings that element where everybody's getting along, everybody's being mature and ladylike and ha-ha-ha. And then here comes Joseline like, what y'all hoes up to? Let me put some funkiness in the mix.
I don't know. I love Joseline Hernandez. I loved her on Love and Hip Hop, and I think she's just a great reality TV star.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it seem like she's like ghetto because I hate that term and I feel like we all got a little ghetto in us. And this group ain't all holier than thou. Exactly. You saw from that clip of Mariah and Toya, they be throwing down too.
I couldn't believe that.
Is it gonna bring down the show? Because one, she's not married at all,
and she's definitely not a doctor, right?
And so it's like basically she just would be coming on the show to start mess, and it's like, is that kind of taking away from what the show is?
Probably.
Okay.
But ratings are everything, as you know. I'm surprised that the show has made it this long. No shade at all.
I love the show.
I love the show. I genuinely love the show. I'm talking about in terms of business. The bottom line is always money. So if the ratings are not stacking up, if the sponsors are not tuning in, if they don't have the viewership, then, you know what I mean, it doesn't continue.
Well, they definitely have the viewership.
And I'm grateful for that, but that's my point. It's so different from what the norm of reality TV has been in the past. It's so genuinely heartwarming to see that a group of ladies, especially Black women, are able to get along and comfort each other and support each other in their endeavors. So yeah, I'm not surprised that they threw her in there, just for the simple fact that it's always better when you can cause a ruckus, unfortunately.
Well, I guess we just got to wait and see how it plays out.
Yes, ma'am.
What they saying in the live chat? Are they talking about anything fun?
Yeah, Ty Savage says, LOL, fake news Joseline would not be a part of a show like this. She might pop up again. That's it. Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they would ever make her a cast member.
No. But
I think she's going to be on more episodes.
I can see that. Jay says, I thought it was a one-time shot cameo. This show does not need someone that ratchet. Ooh. There's enough of that with Heavenly.
And
right. And lastly, I like that Deshaun Snow has a house manager when on ROHA. So, I mean, OA. So I guess, you know what I mean? It's a term that is used because clearly these people have them. And
because nanny just doesn't do
But
it
she
enough.
does more than nanny, though. If you're a house manager, you literally manage the house. Like, things are cleaned because of you. Things are put away. Maybe they keep your schedule for you.
Yeah, maybe she manages, finances and things of that stuff, too, maybe.
Never know.
New terminology. One day I'm going to have a house manager, honey. Okay? All right. Let's get into Toya's sippin' paint. So it's her birthday and she paying for a new house. So she's like, I'm going to do something low-key. But when does Toya ever really do something low-key? It was still kind of high-key, you know what I mean? But what surprised me is, one, she didn't invite Buffy because of that stupid Joseline argument. I didn't understand that. I didn't feel like Buffy was in the wrong. That's me personally. If you do, put it in the live chat or comment.
Yeah, we'd love to hear.
But you couldn't invite Buffy, but you invited Contessa. And you and Contessa have had issues for the longest. And the last time y'all were together, she called your husband a big ass bitch. But so you couldn't invite Buffy for just kind of being a bystander of another argument, but you felt comfortable inviting Contessa.
But you know how we do, we pick and choose, right? So I've had history with this person. We've been through it, ups, downs, whatever. But she's invited to my party because we've made it through. We've seen the better side of it. We've come out better.
But they haven't come out better. they're still into it. That's why I was shocked.
Yeah, I didn't understand the reasoning behind that. Like, and why would you punish supposedly Buffy for something that's not even her responsibility? That just seems so misplaced.
Yeah.
Like, you mad at somebody, just don't invite Joseline. Not that you would, but I'm just saying, like, come on, Ma.
Yeah,
that seemed a bit much.
So, but then Simone invited Buffy anyway. I didn't like that.
Well, I don't think Simone expected for her to not want her to come.
Well, it's my birthday. If I say I don't want anybody around me, don't bring somebody I don't want around me.
Right, a +1 that I didn't even tell you was okay to have.
Right, and not on my birthday, if anything. Like, don't ever just invite somebody I don't want to be at my party without running it by me and against my wishes, but definitely not on my birthday. So I felt like that was just really messy, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of corny.
Okay, you didn't like that
Yeah,
either.
no, I didn't either.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like from what we've seen so far, we haven't watched the whole party. It seems like everything's fine with them.
Not only, exactly, she was still very mature, right? Very classy, gave her a little one-arm hug, took her present graciously, and Buffy even was like, I'm so sorry to hear that happened. I didn't realize that was your truth.
Yeah.
And they hugged it out in that moment. I don't know how sincere it was, but the fact that she played the game was very nice.
I was also shocked that because Contessa and Buffy were there, people that she doesn't really care for, at least not in this moment, that she would use that time to tell them about her miscarriage. Because she's at the beginning of the season, she said that she wanted to kind of keep it to herself and be more private, but she shared it today. What did you think about that?
I think that when it was necessary for her to keep it private, she did. Like she said, some of you know about this and others do not. And that just means that I haven't been involved in your lives, so we've all been doing our own thing and nothing wrong with that. But in this setting, and because this amount of time has passed and we have dealt with it and moved through it, I'm going to go ahead and just put it out there.
Yeah.
So she's evolved. Like she was in a sad space, obviously, and she don't want to be there anymore. So maybe she feels like by sharing this and just making it, normalizing it, that it won't be like a hush-hush big deal, and that she don't have to walk around in sadness by herself. She has her friends to support her.
Good point.
Yeah, I thought it was dope.
I just hope that if she does continue to have issues with people in this group, that they don't like try to bring up that miscarriage in like an argument or a fight, because that is just way too below the belt.
That's tacky.
But so is calling someone's husband
a bitch.
So
who's to say?
You never really know in this group. All right. Well, that wraps up our show. Let's get into our tweets.
Yes.
All right. I love reading tweets. It's probably my favorite thing.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you that chick on Jimmy Kimmel that wants to read all the mean tweets? I love when he does that.
I love when he does that too. I just love I love just seeing what people think about the show and about the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person, I like to live tweet with the show, so I like to see what other people live tweet too.
For sure.
This is me babbling as I try to pull up the tweets. All right, our first tweet is from @BreeBreezy11. It says, we know producers made her invite Kundummy, and I guess she means Contessa, because ain't no way I'm about to invite someone to celebrate my birthday that called my husband a bitch. I mean, a big ass bitch. I agree with you, Bree.
Yes, Breezy.
I don't think I could do it. And I feel like if they weren't on the show and her birthday didn't fall on the time they were shooting Married to Medicine, I don't think she would have actually invited Contessa. I totally agree that the producers made her do it.
I love the meme.
Yeah, FOA the fuck out of here. And they probably, honestly, the producers probably also made Simone invite Buffy.
Yeah. All of this, y'all do know how reality TV works, right? Like, all of this could not possibly have happened without the interference of producers. The bottom line is, reality show, most of it does happen when it happens, but at the end of the day, they have to plant things. Otherwise, they just be boring as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next one is from @BabyBlue88. I wonder if they're Pretty Ricky fans. Baby Blue. It says, so Contessa's storyline was that she didn't want to work part-time last year because she missed her kids, but this year she's living in a whole different state and is barely bothered. I'm confused. I'm confused too, Baby Blue.
Wait, but barely bothered? I don't think that's accurate. She's bothered.
I guess. Bothered enough for the show.
Right, but is she bothered enough to come home to her baby?
Honestly, I mean, I'm not a mother, so I don't know how it is, but if my daughter tells me that she's forgot about me,
right,
that, like, just watching it, I felt like my heart stopped. Like, oh my gosh, that would make me feel so bad.
Exactly. And then the other daughter's like, yeah, I punched the wall when I'm mad. Like, you do what?
And especially as sensitive as Contessa was in past seasons about being away from her kids, anytime she talked about being away from her kids, she would shed a tear. And now it's just like, oh,
do you think something happened in the marriage that we don't know about?
I don't think so, and I hope not, because I love Contessa and Scott, and that's why I want her to come home, because I don't want their marriage to get messed up because of this. I love them together.
Interesting.
All right. We got another one from @Aaliyah_17. I love her name. It says, I'm petty, but not 50 Cent petty. Because 50 Cent is really petty.
Because he is patois.
Okay. It says, Buffy don't need a second chance from Toya because she didn't do anything. Buffy can't control another grown woman and what she says out of her mouth. You should have cussed Joseline out. That's it, and that's all.
She wasn't coming for Joseline. She's not about that life.
No, she wasn't.
She's not about that life.
If she wasn't about that life or coming for Joseline, that's one thing. But don't come for Buffy. Because honestly, I really didn't feel like it was Buffy's fault.
It's misplaced anger. She can't do nothing about Joseline, and she knows that. So she's like, all right, well, I'll do the next best thing and talk mess to Buffy. Mm-hmm. That's how I think it went down.
Yeah. All right, we got another one from @Fortune424. It says, damn, I'm poor. A $500 budget for one outfit seems like a splurge to me. Okay.
We're right there with you.
I love this Real Housewives meme. As long as I don't look or smell homeless, I'm good.
That's exactly right. Put it together. Get you one piece that stands out. Mm-hmm. Everything else can be Forever 21 as far as I'm concerned. As long as you pull it all together, girl, that's all that matters. Yeah. They just kept talking. First, she got me out here looking cheap. Oh, God, calm down.
Too much. Okay, and then we have another one that I thought was super funny from @GreenIvy_Carter. So Green Ivy instead of Blue Ivy. Says, cute. Now, why is Jackie trying to get a house nanny around Curtis? Now, if you are a Married to Medicine fan, you know the story behind Curtis and Jackie and his infidelities. So I don't think it's best that he have a house nanny either. Sorry, Curtis.
But the
I'm
truth
sure
is
you're
the
a changed
truth.
person and you're not going to cheat on your wife again, but let's just be real.
Right, let's call it what it is.
And I think Jackie knows better than that. So we'll have to see. All right, let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, guys. So this one I'm excited to talk about because it crossed my mind when I saw the teaser that Joseline was going to be on this show. Why the heck is Joseline on this show? How does she even know these people? What is the point? Just why? And I guess Wendy Williams felt the same way because on her show, she said after seeing the new promo for the show, she says that... Hold on, I lost my... She called the show an embarrassment for allowing the VH1 reality star on the show when she's neither a doctor or married to one. It says the ladies of Married to Medicine are either doctors or they're married to doctors. Either way, it's all a squinty embarrassment because I don't want to see my doctors act like that. You know what I mean? She continued, this week the show is getting a new cast member, which is Buffy. Mm-hmm. You love her, I love her, but she's taking this show to an all-time low and she doesn't belong. So it seems like because Buffy invited Joseline on, that she doesn't belong on the show.
Buffy doesn't belong on the show?
That's what I think Wendy is trying to say.
That's a stretch.
Now that I don't agree with. I do agree, however, though, what is the point of having Joseline on the show? It's kind of just bringing the show down, honestly. Yeah. Love you, Joseline, but stay on VH1. And that's our news and gossip for today.
For sure. I want to read a quick comment from Simone TV. Yeah. I thought the season premieres mentioned that Curtis messed up again. Did I make that up in my mind? Asking for myself, laugh out loud.
Ooh, I haven't heard that, but I definitely ain't going to investigate it now that you said it, Simone.
Miss Simone, thank you.
Yeah.
And Ty Savage says, I agree with Wendy. Mm-hmm. It sounds like we're all in agreement with Wendy.
Yeah.
I think that it was just not the best move. But again, we got to remember, y'all, at the end of the day, this is not about tarnishing relationships, and producers don't care.
Yeah.
The bottom line is always about money. So if you're bringing this young lady in, you already know what you're going to get. Yeah. And again, they're not stupid enough to make her like an ongoing cast member. Mm-hmm. But I can see them being like, okay, things are getting a little boring. Oh, I know, Joseline. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they know that they'll bring some kind of craziness to the table.
Yeah. I wonder, because we talked about this on last week's show with me and Pietra, about how, Quad isn't married anymore. Her and her husband are getting a divorce. So technically she's not married to Medicine anymore. She doesn't really, from what we've seen so far, have like a true storyline.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're bringing Buffy Buffy in now, but the hope is to eventually replace Quad with Buffy. Now, I don't think it would ever happen because Quad has been on this show the entire time the show has been on, and she's always been, you know, the drama and brought the mess, and she does have her issues with certain people on the show, so that keeps the drama going. But do you think they would really get rid of Miss Quad?
I mean, is Buffy any kind of medical anything?
I think she's married to, she's definitely not a doctor herself because she said she works in like accounting and taxes.
Right.
So I'm assuming her husband is. Mm-hmm. Or she just could be just coming on the show because she's Simone's friend and she's messy. But hopefully, you know, we find out if she's going to be like an official member on the show so that we can get a backstory on her and who she is and who her husband is and what she does.
I love her story about the taxes, though. That was super sexy. I was like, yes, you better work.
Yeah.
Yeah, grandma saved up. They were sharecroppers, and we made a name, and now, baby, we own this town.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
So, yeah, if she is married to a doctor, then they probably are going to try to... But if, Quad is bringing the heat, right? Like, she's not somebody that you want to just dismiss.
I mean, right now, she just has issues with Simone.
Yeah.
And from what we saw at the party, they said that they were going to work on it, that they were going to get over those issues. So, it's like, if she doesn't have issues with people, she's not married to anyone, it doesn't seem like she has her own true storyline this season. Why keep her on the show, honestly?
Again, bottom line being money.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then yes, this might be a very intricate plan to kind of smooth Buffy in and smooth her out.
Yeah, guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I like Quad.
Yeah, I like Quad too.
We shall see.
I would miss her, but I would understand if they got rid of her. So like I said, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our predictions.
Okay. So I predict... Ooh.
Oh my gosh, your face just didn't scare me.
I predict that Jackie is going to remodel this house, and there's going to be just a little bit of tension in the house because I don't think that Curtis, right, is 110% behind. Like, he's behind it because he loves his wife. I love them together. They seem very much on the same page. But if you're just spending unnecessary money, time, and effort, like this, a remodel is an upheaval. That's a lot. So I just see there being like, there might be some doors slammed and stuff as a result.
Interesting.
I definitely see that Buffy will be, well, we already know, but still, she's going to be a regular cast member.
Yeah.
Definitely see that Joseline will be making her appearances every now and then to add the nonsense.
Okay.
And let me see, what else? That's all I got.
Yeah. I'm thinking that two different things, because I can never just do one straight prediction. Either Contessa is going to feel really, really bad about being away, and she's going to come do her schooling in Georgia so she doesn't have to be away from her kids. Or she's going to continue to be gone, and we're going to see a strain with her and Scott, which I would hate to see. So I'm hoping it's the first thing that I mentioned. I think, honestly, I feel like maybe Toya inviting Contessa to her party, and then Contessa kind of showing compassion when she heard about her miscarriage. Maybe we'll start to see them become cool again. Like, not friends, but maybe cordial. You know, they can be around each other and not scream at each other and call their husbands bitches. Maybe they can finally get along. And I also think that Quad and Simone are going to, you know, make things right and get back on the right track. So
yeah, I look forward to that.
I see a lot of mending, but I know this show can't be all roses and no drama. So somebody's going to get into it again, and I just am excited to see who it's going to be.
Exactly.
And I'm excited to
We're
see.
here for it.
Yeah, and I hope they, on the next episode, if Buffy's going to be a cast member, that they actually put it set in stone, this is a new cast member, so that we can learn more about her. Because I'm interested to know why she's on this show and how she ended up here and what she does. So that's my prediction too.
There we go.
Well, all right, this was so fun. Thank you so much for coming on this show.
Thank you for having me.
It was so much fun. We were out there, and I was like, just do the show with me. And you were like, okay. So thank you for being so willing to do the show with me.
I'm grateful to be asked.
We had such a good time. Let everybody know where they can find you.
My name is Kittie Kaboom. You can find me on IG with that. KITTIEKABOOM. On Facebook, it's Kittie Kali. And on Twitter, it's Kittie Meow.
Yes. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Lexi Fierce. That is IAMLEXIFIERCE. And until we meet again, buzz you later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.